Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Portuguese ebook before it's gone.
Oi gente, tudo bom? I'm Paloma. Welcome to Top Portuguese Words. Today's topic is Top 20 Words You Need for the Beach. Óculos de sol. Sunglasses. Óculos de sol. Sunglasses. Preciso comprar óculos de sol para nossa viagem para a praia. O que você acha desse daqui? I need to buy sunglasses for our trip to the beach. What do you think about this one? Praia. Beach. Praia. Beach. Em dezembro, a gente sempre passa o Réveillon na praia. É tão bom. Every December, we spend New Year's Eve at the beach. It's so good. Since December is summertime in Brazil, it's very common to go to the beach during Christmas and New Year's. Nadar. To swim. Nadar. To swim. Aprendi a nadar quando eu era pequena. I learned to swim when I was little. In Brazil, many people go to the beach, but they don't really want to go there for swimming. They prefer to stay there and get some tan. Bronzear-se. Sol. Sun. Sol. Sun. Eu gosto de sol, mas preciso tomar cuidado para não exagerar no bronzeado. I like the sun, but I've got to be careful not to get overtanned. Palmeira. Palm tree. Palmeira. Palm tree. Por aqui tem muitas palmeiras. É gostoso descansar embaixo delas. There are many palm trees around here. It's good to rest under them. If you say this word in plural form, palmeiras, this will mean a lot of palm trees, but it's also the name of a very famous soccer team in Brazil, Palmeiras, or Verdão, green. I'm not a Palmeiras fan, but if you like this team, just leave in the comments, okay? Concha, seashell. Concha, seashell. Vamos caminhar na praia e pegar umas conchinhas? Let's walk on the beach and get some little seashells. Especially kids love to do that, walk around and gather a lot of seashells to bring home and remember how great was their beach vacations. Canga. Beach wrap. Sarong. Canga. Beach wrap. Sarong. No Brasil é mais comum levar canga que toalha para a praia. In Brazil, it's more common to take a sarong instead of a towel to the beach. The canga is like this. This is my canga. Yeah, it's like a very light textile, but it's good because you can dry yourself, you can put it on the beach and lay on it, and after, when you go out, you can, just wrap around it and make a dress instead of walking in your bikini or your one swimsuit. Mar. Sea. Mar. Sea. Adoro ficar aqui olhando o mar. Mal percebo o tempo passar. I love to stay here watching the sea. I barely notice the time passing. O mar. What can I say about the mar? There are many beaches in Brazil, many seas that you can go. Most famous ones are the ones in northeastern part, Nordeste. Also near São Paulo we have Rio, and there's Paraty, Ubatuba in São Paulo. If you go to Santa Catarina, you can go to Florianópolis. That is a very nice city. And it has a lot of beaches, very beautiful beaches. Eu amo o mar. I love the sea. Jet ski. Jet ski. Jet ski. Jet ski. Olha, dá pra passear de jet ski. Vamos! Look, we can get a jet ski ride. Shall we? You can use jet skis in beaches, but also it's common to have them in the rivers or lagoons in Brazil. Cadeiras de praia. Beach chair. Cadeira de praia. Beach chair. Não esquece de trazer a cadeira de praia para sua mãe, viu? Don't forget to bring the beach chair for your mom, okay? Many people have their own beach chairs and also the guarda-sol or sun umbrella that you can bring with you to the beach so you don't have to sit in the direct sun. If you don't have one, you can usually rent it. Well, of course, you're not gonna find it in very small or faraway beaches, but in the most famous one, of course, you always find chairs and sun umbrellas for rent. Castelo de areia. Sandcastle. Castelo de areia. Sandcastle. Quando eu era pequena, sempre fazia castelos de areia com o meu irmão. When I was young, I always made sandcastles with my brother. Yeah, I really loved to make sandcastles when I was little, but nowadays I just, hope that some of my little cousins will come so I can also make sandcastles with them. Caixa térmica. Cooler. Caixa térmica. Cooler. As bebidas ficam bem geladinhas na caixa térmica. The drinks are very fresh in the cooler. If you're planning to stay your whole day at the beach, it's a very good idea to bring your own cooler full of water and drinks like your beer or your soda or whatever, or even eat, and put it in a cooler, numa caixa térmica. Maré. Tide. Maré. Tide. Só dá pra chegar naquela praia quando a maré baixar. We can only get to the beach when the tide is low. When I was little once, the tide was low, so we were able to go walk into a sandbank. And then after a few hours, the tide got higher, so we couldn't walk back. And I had to, be carried by my dad. So be very careful with the maré, with the tide. Bronzeado, tan. Bronzeado, tan. Esse ano a gente vai pegar aquele bronzeado. This year we'll get a great tan. Brazilians love to get tan because it means they had time to spend at the beach. It's so good. Água de coco. Coconut water. Água de coco. Coconut water. Água de coco é bom para se manter hidratado. Coconut water is good to stay hydrated. I love, love, love to get coconut water when I'm at the beach. And after you drink all the water, you can ask for the guy to cut it in half so you can eat all that. We call it carne in Portuguese. It's so good. Chinelo. Flip-flop. Chinelo. Flip-flop. Adoro este chinelo. É super confortável para andar na praia. I love these flip-flops. They're very comfortable to walk on the beach. I just use it every day. Flip-flops. Filtro solar. Sunscreen. Filtro solar. Sunscreen. Não esquece de passar bastante filtro solar no rosto, viu? Melhor prevenir do que remediar. Don't forget to apply a lot of sunscreen at your face, okay? Better safe than sorry. Another form is protetor solar. Sun protector. Even if you're not going to the beach, it's very good to use sunscreen every day because, there's sun everywhere, right? Bikini. 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 O que achou desse biquíni? Lindo, né? What do you think about this bikini? Cute, right? Brazilians also love bikinis. There are so many colors and shapes and sizes. You can have common, normal ones, but you can also have very small ones that most Brazilians like. Bikinis are the two-piece swimsuits for women. If you want the one piece, it's called maillot. Sunga. Speedo. Sunga. Speedo. Meu irmão só usa sunga. Falei pra ele trazer uma bermuda, mas não quis de jeito nenhum. My brother only wears speedos. I told him to bring trunks, but he didn't want to at all. It's funny, but in Brazil, speedos or sungas are still very common. If you go to the beach, don't get shocked. You see a lot of sungas. But if you want to be more conservative, you can bring your own bermuda or trunks or shorts. Sorvete. Ice cream. Sorvete. Ice cream. Que delícia esse sorvete de melancia! Vou pedir mais um. How delicious this watermelon ice cream! I'm going to order one more. If you want a popsicle, you can ask for a picolé. The end! That's all for today. Thanks a lot for watching. What word do we also need for the beach that we forgot? Let us know in the comments. See you next time. Take care. Ciao!
E aí, gente, beleza? Hi everyone, how are you? Welcome to Top 10 False Cognates in Portuguese. Puxar, empurrar. To pull, to push. I always get confused when I get to a door and it's written puxar or to push, because I never remember if it's to puxar, to pull, or empurrar, to push. É para puxar ou empurrar? Is it for pull or to push? Assistir, ajudar. To watch, to assist. You can actually use this word assistir to mean assist, but we usually use this to mean watch. Eu estou assistindo um filme. I'm watching a movie. Oh, great. Na verdade, atualmente. Actually, nowadays. So many people get confused with actually because they think it means atualmente or nowadays, currently in Portuguese, but it means na verdade. Na verdade, eu não quis dizer isso. Actually, I didn't mean to say that. Colégio, faculdade, school, college. So you might confuse college with colégio, but we use the word colégio to mean private schools or more specifically high schools. Eu fui pro colégio hoje. I went to school today. Ele já está na faculdade. He's already at college. Esquisito, requintado. Weird, exquisite. So if you just come to Brazil and say, que esquisito, people will be like, wow, you're criticizing my food, because it means, that's weird, not, that's rich, or that's tasty. So you could say, nossa, que esquisito, eu tinha deixado aqui. Well, that's weird, I had left it here. Esse é um prato muito requintado. This is a very exquisite dish. Idioma, expressão idiomática. Language, idiom. That's a pretty easy way to get confused, because idiom means expressão idiomática and not idioma, which means language. Eu sei muitas expressões idiomáticas nesse idioma. I know many idioms in this language. Pretender, fingir. To intend, to pretend. These two words sound very similar, pretender and to pretend, but they are totally different. Pretender means to intend. Eu pretendo ir ao Brasil ano que vem. I intend to go to Brazil next year. Ele está fingindo que está ajudando. He's just pretending he's helping. Lanche, almoço. Snack, lunch. So this is actually one of the first false cognates that I learned when I was in English school, because my teacher just asked me, what did you have for lunch? And I was like, no, I didn't have lunch yet. I'm just, it's just 2 o'clock. I just had, how do you say that in English? Oh, that's lunch. Yeah, almoço. It's lunch. And lanche in Portuguese is snack. So I was saying, I didn't have any snack yet. But I thought, I got confused. Ela nunca almoça e sempre toma lanche. She never has lunch and always eats snacks. Parentes, pais. Relative, parents. Yeah, that's a very confusing one. You can say, os meus parentes vão vir hoje. My relatives are coming today. Os meus pais não vieram. My parents didn't come. Realizar, perceber. To carry out, to realize. So this is a very tricky two verbs. Realizar and realize. Nós vamos realizar uma festa a semana que vem. We are carrying out a party next week. Eu não percebi que eu estava errado. I didn't realize I was wrong. In the end, o fim, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it and didn't get confused. Let us know in the comments if you have any questions. See you next time. Ciao!
Verão no Brasil. E aí, gente, tudo bom? Paloma here. Welcome to another Top Portuguese Words. Today's topic is Top 10 Things to Do in the Summer in Brazil. As top coisas para fazer no Brasil durante o verão. Viajar para o exterior. To travel abroad. Queria tanto viajar para o exterior, mas vou precisar juntar mais dinheiro primeiro. Oh, I wish I could travel abroad, but I'll have to save more money first. Brazil is a country that is very far from other countries, so besides the countries that border Brazil, it's kind of expensive and far to travel to them. But on the other side, for example, if you're just melting in Brazilian summer, you can just go to Europe and it's gonna be winter, so you can see snow and you can really feel cold as we don't have in Brazil. Relaxar na praia. To relax at the beach. Nada melhor do que relaxar na praia com a família. Nothing better than relaxing at the beach with the family. Ah, relaxar. Eu quero relaxar hoje. I wanna relax today. Estudar português com a PortuguesePod101.com. To learn Portuguese with PortuguesePod101.com. Faz um mês que estou estudando português no PortuguesePod101.com e estou adorando. I've been studying Portuguese with PortuguesePod101.com for a month and I'm loving it. You don't only need to stay home to study with PortuguesePod101.com because you also have a lot of lessons that you can download on your smartphone or your tablet and just take them with you wherever you go. It's great. Aprender a cozinhar comida típica brasileira. To learn to cook Brazilian food. Vou aprender a cozinhar comida típica brasileira com a minha tia. Ela cozinha super bem. I'm going to learn to cook Brazilian food with my aunt. She cooks very well. That's a great plan for summer vacations. I really like to cook and I really like to eat as well. For example, coxinha, feijoada, moqueca, brigadeiro, bolo de cenoura. There's so many things. If you know how to cook any Brazilian foods, let us know in the comments, okay? Fazer churrasco. To have a barbecue. Vamos fazer churrasco esse final de semana. Você está convidada. We are having a barbecue this weekend and you're invited to join us. Churrasco. Brazilians really love to cook churrascos during the weekend and they invite a lot of friends and each person would bring a dish or a piece of meat so they can just share everything between everyone. And if you haven't tried it yet, you can also go to a churrascaria or a Brazilian steakhouse to try it. Festejar a noite inteira. To party all night. Sábado é o dia perfeito para festejar a noite inteira com os amigos. Saturday is the perfect day for partying all night with friends. Brazilians really like to party, so parties in Brazil usually have a time to start, but they never have a time to end. And they usually party all night, festejam a noite toda. Pegar bronzeado. To get a tan. Quero pegar super bronzeado nessas férias. I want to get a great tan on this vacation. Brazilians really like to get tan, especially women. They like to have marquinha de biquíni, that is the bikini line. So when they go back to work, it looks like they went to the beach and they didn't stay at home during summer vacations. Fazer caminhadas. To go hiking. Adoro fazer caminhadas, é muito relaxante. I love to go hiking, it's very relaxing. If you're a hiking fan, there are so many beautiful places to go in Brazil. For example, the Chapada dos Veadeiros or even the Sugarloaf Mountain in Rio. It has a trail that you can go by walk. It's very hard, but I never tried it before. But maybe if you're a hiking fan, you'll love it. Tomar sorvete na sorveteria. To eat ice cream at the ice cream shop. Que calor! Vamos tomar sorvete naquela sorveteria que vimos ontem? It's so hot. Let's eat an ice cream at that ice cream shop that we saw yesterday. There are many ice cream shops everywhere you go in Brazil because it's always so hot. So you can get an ice cream or sorvete or picolé, that is the popsicle. And they're also my favorite ones, that are the ones by kilo, where you weight your plate after you serve with all the kinds of ice cream you want and all the toppings that you want. Yeah, so good. Se divertir com os amigos. To have fun with friends. O que eu mais gosto de fazer é sair para me divertir com as meninas. What I like the most is to go out to have fun with the girls. You can say se divertir com os amigos, with the friends, or com as meninas, with the girls, or com os meninos, with the boys. It's kind of a trend now, but we have the rolezinho, that is group of friends, like usually very young people, that go to the mall and they just hang around like all afternoon on a Saturday, driving the managers crazy. Okay, that's all for today. Thanks a lot for watching and I hope you enjoyed it. Oi gente, tudo bom? Paloma here.
Welcome to Top 10 Ways to Remember Words. Eu aprendo sobre as raízes das palavras e como palavras diferentes são relacionadas umas com as outras. I learn about the roots of words and how different words are related to each other. É mais fácil de lembrar as palavras quando você sabe as raízes delas. It's easier to remember words when you know the roots. So you can relate some verbs with now, for example, correr, to run, and corrida, running. Also, fight, luta, with fighting, lutar. Eu categorizo novas palavras com outras palavras relacionadas que eu já conheço. I categorize new words with other related words that I already know. I think, for example, you could categorize all words that are related to home. Lar, casa, casão, casarão, casinha. There would be different ways to say home or house in Portuguese. Eu costumo assistir TV ou vídeos no YouTube que são feitos para crianças pequenas. I often watch TV or YouTube videos that are designed for young children. One of my favorite shows when I was little would be Castelo Rá-Tim-Bum, Rá-Tim-Bum Castle. Another one that was my favorite was Cocoricó. Cocoricó is the sound that the roosters do. Cocoricó! Eu procurei alguns vídeos infantis no YouTube para aprender português. I searched for some kids videos on YouTube to learn Portuguese. Eu escuto músicas e memorizo as letras. I listen to songs and memorize the lyrics. This is a very nice technique because usually you like the song you're learning, so it's easier to learn. That was one of the ways I learned English. Eu baixei várias músicas brasileiras para aprender português. I downloaded many Brazilian songs to learn Portuguese. Eu falo as palavras em voz alta para que eu possa ouvi-las. I say words out loud so that I can actually hear them. One thing is to understand the language and the other thing is to be able to speak and communicate in the language. If you don't try to speak it out loud, you will never know if you can communicate and speak in the language. So you gotta try and don't be ashamed. Não tenha vergonha. Just try to speak it. Eu falo tudo errado, mas eu tento falar em português. I say it all wrong, but I try to speak in Portuguese. Eu falo o máximo possível com falantes nativos. I speak as often as possible with native speakers. If you're speaking with native speakers, there's no way you won't learn the language or the words that you want to remember. Because if you don't say the correct words, they will help you and try to correct you. That's very nice to have people that speak the language to motivate you too. Eu tenho vários amigos brasileiros que me ajudam com meu português. I have many Brazilian friends that help me with my Portuguese. Eu tento pensar em português, porque daí se torna natural para o meu processo de pensamento. I try to think in Portuguese, so it becomes natural to my thought process. One of the things that I noticed when I was learning English is that if you don't think in the language you're speaking, your brain has to do so many translations that you won't be able to become fluent in that language. So try to think little by little in the language you're learning, that it will help you a lot. Quando eu estou pensando em português, eu não consigo pensar em inglês. When I'm thinking in Portuguese, I can't think in English. Eu tento usar a língua repetidamente no contexto da vida cotidiana. I try to use the language routinely in the context of daily life. You can call little things in Portuguese in your house, like nouns, for example, spoon, colher, fork, garfo. You can also use your dog for talking to him in Portuguese and teach him some tricks in Portuguese. A minha professora de inglês só falava em inglês com o gato dela. My English teacher only spoke in English with her cat. That's true. Eu uso a repetição. Ler, escrever e falar as palavras várias vezes. I use repetition. Reading, writing and speaking words over and over again. You know the commercial that is on TV and is like every 10 minutes the commercial is there again on TV? There's no way you forget that commercial, right? You gotta do the same with words. You just say that word again and again and again and there will be no way you forget it. Eu precisava decorar uma frase em português e fiquei falando ela o dia inteiro. I needed to memorize a phrase in Portuguese, so I spoke it all day long. Ler o máximo possível, especialmente o jornal, me ajuda a lembrar as palavras. Reading as much as possible, especially the newspaper, helps me to remember words. Newspaper is kind of advanced Portuguese because you won't find easy conversational words, they will be more formal and business words. But if you're already in that level, yeah, that would be a great help for you to read newspaper. Nowadays you can find newspaper online and also on YouTube there are many news channels. So that's a very good way to memorize and remember everyday words. Eu leio o jornal todos os dias para aprender palavras de economia. I read the newspaper every day to learn economy words. O fim, the end. Thanks a lot for watching and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you next time. Ciao!
Hi! Welcome to Introduction to Portuguese. My name is Alicia, and I'm joined by...
Hi everyone, I'm Ana.
In this lesson, you'll learn the basics of Portuguese writing. Portuguese uses the exact same alphabet as English, comprised of 26 letters.
A, B, K.
Let's listen to the names of the letters in Portuguese.
A, B, C.
The letters K, W, and Y were recently recognized as part of the official Portuguese alphabet. They are only used in personal names, foreign loanwords, and derivatives, including words from indigenous Brazilian languages.
The letter Y is read like the vowel I. Yakisoba, shoyu, yanomami. The letter W may vary. It may be read like the vowel U or like the consonant V. It usually follows the pronunciation of the language of origin. Washington, Wagner, Volkswagen. And the letter K is read just like in English. Cart, yakisoba, kung fu, kantiano.
The Portuguese alphabet is phonetic, which means letters represent certain sounds alone and certain sounds when combined, just like most Western languages.
Portuguese, like English, uses digraphs, which are pairs of letters representing a single sound, different from their components alone, but they're not included in the alphabet. For instance, the letter C sounds like this, casa, or like this, cinto. When paired with age, forming the digraph CH, we have the sound chocolate.
So, as you can see, while Portuguese is largely pronounced as it's written, some letter combinations will produce digraphs that you will need to look out for.
Diacritics are little marks that are added to the letters to indicate some alteration on the quality of the original letter. It usually indicates a pronunciation aspect. While in English they appear more in names and loanwords, such as fiancé, in Portuguese they are very common.
There are 5 diacritics with different uses in Portuguese. They can indicate stressed vowels and pronunciation aspects in consonants and vowels. They can also be used to differentiate some homographs or to mark grammar phenomena. Let's see what they are.
In Portuguese, the acute accent is used to indicate a stressed vowel in a word. Fácil, árvore, alguém. As you see, all the stressed vowels in these words are marked with the acute accent.
Vowels with the acute accent will be stressed and pronounced with open pronunciation.
Avó. This word means grandmother. If said with a closed vowel, it would mean grandfather, and with no accent at all, avo. The stressed vowel now is the first one. This word is used to express fractions. So, if this word is not correctly marked, you don't know how to pronounce the last vowel properly. Specifically in this case, with an incorrect pronunciation, it would have a different meaning.
As we saw in the last example, circumflexes mark when vowels are pronounced with closed pronunciation.
Português.
Circumflexes are also used to differentiate homographs. Homographs are words that are written in the same way but with different meanings.
Vem, vem. Pode, pôde. As you see, this mark may or may not refer to the vowel sound in such cases.
The grave accent is related to a grammar phenomenon, the crassus. The crassus is a contraction of a feminine article with a preposition.
Fui a plus a cidade. Verb, preposition, article, object. Fui a cidade.
The grave accent in Portuguese is never a pronunciation mark, so it would never alter how a vowel, syllable, or word sounds.
To indicate nasal vowels, the tilde is used. Pão. Note that although the nasal vowel marked with tilde is commonly stressed, the stressed quality is not part of what the tilde means, like in this case, sótão. The stressed vowel is marked by an acute accent, indicating also the open vowel pronunciation, even though the tilde is present.
The cedilla is the only diacritic used on consonants in Portuguese. More specifically, it is only used on the letter C, hence the Portuguese name.
C cedilha. C, when paired with vowels A, O, and U, sounds like the English K. Casa, acordo, óculos. Whenever the cedilha is put before these vowels, it will sound like the English S. Calçada, açougue, açúcar. Incerto, cinto. So the cedilha will never be there in these cases with I and E. Also, the cedilha is never the first letter in a word. The cedilha has been historically replaced by the letter S in those cases, so there is no capital. C cedilha. Saúde, suco.
Great! Let's move on to the next section. Capitalization rules in English and in Portuguese are mostly the same. For instance, the first letter in a sentence is always capitalized, just like people's names and nations. Still, there are some significant differences between capitalization in English and in Portuguese. Let's focus on some of these.
Portuguese doesn't capitalize the pronoun eu. That is the equivalent to the pronoun I in English, which is always capitalized. Claro, eu concordo.
Nationalities and regional adjectives aren't capitalized in Portuguese. The same goes for a language name.
Ela é brasileira e fala português.
Days of the week and months are also never capitalized.
A reunião será nesta quarta-feira. Normalmente saio de férias em julho.
In titles of works such as books and movies, only the first letter is capitalized, unless there's a personal name in it.
Capitães de Areia. Memórias póstumas de Brás Cubas.
These are some of the capitalization rules in Portuguese that differ from those in English. Most of the other rules are the same.
Okay, let's wrap up this lesson by recapping what we've learned.
In this lesson, you learned that the Portuguese alphabet is identical to the one used in English and also has digraphs. You learned that acute accents indicate both stressed and open vowels. Circumflexes indicate closed vowels. The grave accent always indicates crassus and is not a phonetical mark. The tilde is used to mark nasal vowels, and the cedilla gives an S sound to the letter C. Also, you learned the main differences in capitalization Portuguese has when compared to English. In the next lesson, you'll be entering Portuguese boot camp, where you'll learn useful beginner phrases to get you speaking Portuguese right away. See you in the next lesson. Bye!
Bye!
Oi, gente! Hi everyone, Paloma here. E aí, tudo bom? Yay, how are you? Welcome to Top 10 Phrases to Amaze Native Speakers. Além do português, eu também sei outras línguas. Apart from Portuguese, I can speak other languages as well. If you say this phrase in Brazil, people will be so jealous at you because many Brazilians can't even speak English. So if you just say, eu posso falar outras línguas também, I can speak other languages as well, they will be like, okay, he's a genius. Ele é um gênio. Além do português, eu também falo inglês, francês e espanhol. Apart from Portuguese, I can also speak English, French and Spanish. Especially for people that can speak Portuguese, Spanish, even French and Italian are very easy. Not very easy, but easier to learn. Estou aprendendo português sozinho. I'm learning Portuguese by myself. I think it's a pretty amazing sentence to say because people usually go to language schools in Brazil to learn English and Spanish usually. But if you just say, you know, I'm learning that by myself, they will be like, wow. Não, eu não vou para a escola. Eu estou aprendendo português sozinho. No, I don't go to school. I'm learning Portuguese by myself. Estou estudando português faz 10 anos. I've been learning Portuguese for 10 years. That's a pretty long, hard-working path, right? Eu sei português porque eu estou aprendendo português faz 10 anos. I know Portuguese because I've been learning Portuguese for 10 years. E eu entendi tudinho que você disse. I completely understood everything you said. Using diminutives in Portuguese sentence shows that you can, you know, play with the language, so it seems like you're fluent in the language. If you say tudinho, that means small everything. Sounds like very Portuguese, very Brazilian. Não precisa repetir. Eu entendi tudinho que você me disse. You don't need to repeat. I completely understood what you said. Eu consigo assistir filmes em português sem legendas. I can watch movies in Portuguese without subtitles. Famous Brazilian movies you should watch are City of God, Cidade de Deus, or Tropa de Elite, The Elite Squad, which are all-time famous movies in here. Não precisa se preocupar. Eu consigo assistir filmes em português sem legenda. You don't need to worry. I can watch movies in Portuguese without subtitles. Levou apenas um ano para me tornar fluente. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. I think if you're a native Spanish speaker, you might say levou apenas um ano. But if you're English speaker, it might take a little longer if you don't dedicate, you know, all your time to learn Portuguese. If someone tells you, wow, seu português é ótimo. Wow, your Portuguese is great. You can answer, não, não é nada. Levou apenas um ano para me tornar fluente. No, it's nothing. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. Obrigada, mas na verdade eu não sou brasileira. Thank you, but I'm not Brazilian actually. Yeah, I think that's the most amazing phrase you want to hear. Nossa, eu achei que você fosse brasileira. Wow, I thought you were Brazilian. Obrigada, mas na verdade eu não sou brasileira. Thank you, but actually I'm not Brazilian. Português é divertido e fácil de aprender. Portuguese is fun and easy to learn. If you tell this phrase to your friends, I think they'll be amazed because we know Portuguese is not that easy. And you just say, não, não é difícil. Português é divertido e fácil de aprender. No, it's not hard. Portuguese is fun and easy to learn. Posso memorizar umas 50 palavras novas por dia em português. I can memorize around 50 new Portuguese words a day. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Usually people can memorize 10 to 20 words a day, but if you say you can memorize 50, they'll be like, wow. Another word for memorize would be decorar, to know by heart. Você pode me ensinar mais. Eu posso decorar umas 50 palavras por dia em português. You can teach me more. I can memorize around 50 new words a day in Portuguese. Vou falar português como um falante nativo em 3 anos. I'll speak Portuguese like a native speaker in 3 years. That's a bold challenge, but if you're up to it, I think that's totally doable to learn and to be fluent in a language in 3 years. Eu vou estudar muito e vou falar português como um nativo em 3 anos. I'll study a lot and I'll speak Portuguese as a native speaker in 3 years. The end! Acabou! That's it for today. Thanks for watching and I hope you enjoy our video and subscribe to our website and our channel. See you next time! Ciao! Portuguese. You can speak other languages as well. Portuguese, Japanese, Chinese. No, Chinese. Ni hao. 我叫保罗马.
Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Portuguese ebook before it's gone.